Breaking news, 186 Democrats in the House of Representatives just voted against deporting illegal immigrants who commit welfare fraud. This happened Wednesday as the House passed the Deportation Fraudsters Act with a vote of 231 to 186. The bill, sponsored by Republican David Taylor of Ohio, would make it explicit under federal law that non-citizens who steal taxpayer dollars through fraud are subject to mandatory deportation and barred from returning to the United States. Republicans argue this is a common sense measure to protect American taxpayers. Representative Tom McClintock stated clearly that if you admit to or are convicted of fraudulently receiving public benefits, you are out on the next plane and can never come back. The push comes amid heightened scrutiny over massive fraud schemes, including investigations in Minnesota, where prosecutors say up to $9 billion may have been stolen from social service programs.
The Deportation Fraudsters Act passed in Congress, but guess who voted against it? Omar. Of course she did, because that act would make sure that any kind of immigrant in this country who frauds our government, whether it be SNAP or Medicaid or Leering centers, would automatically be deported. And someone's like, well, we already have laws in place. Well, those laws talk about moral turpitude, which makes it harder to prove and harder to deport. And this is one example of why we do not need non-American born citizens in our government, because of course she's not going to vote for anything that affects her community, as the Muslims like to say. And there's no way I'm convinced that she didn't know $700 million moved through the Minneapolis airport in 2 years, because Somalians are low IQ. And there's no way they did that without the help of lawyers, consultants, bankers, politicians. And I cannot wait for J.D. Vance to get to the bottom of this. And we are ready to see arrests. But most importantly, we need to figure out how to keep foreign-born people from serving in our government. Because we know darn well they're not going to vote for any law that affects their community when they know they're doing wrong. Period.
Wait, the Democrats just vote against deporting fraudsters? A new bill in Congress aimed to make it easier to deport non-citizens caught committing fraud, things like fake documents or benefits abuse. Do you know the Republicans pushed so hard, saying it's about law and order? But you see the Democrats, they nearly all voted against it, and now people are asking the question, why? Democrats say the law already exists and the bill could go too far to even deporting people without full protections in court. But critics are saying that's just an excuse and that fraud should mean immediate consequences. So now the country is split. Is this about protecting rights or protecting the wrong people? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're new here, do let us know where you're watching us from. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you never miss a video. Video credit goes to the original creators for every video used in this episode. Let's get to the video and I'll be right back with more commentaries.
The House, they just passed the Deportation Fraudsters Act of 2026. This is aimed at making non-citizens who commit fraud or exploit welfare systems such as SNAP or Social Security inadmissible and deportable. This legislation specifically targets identity theft and misuse of federal, state, or local benefits. Now, 186 Dems voted against this. Like, who will vote against an act like this where you're protecting taxpayers and the American citizens that really need these particular programs? Who will vote against this? And you're holding these undocumented immigrants accountable. So it goes on to say that it targets fraud focused on illegal immigrants who engage in fraud such as misrepresenting identity, stealing public benefits, or committing Social Security fraud. So this will automatically mandate that individuals found engaging in such fraud be declared inadmissible and removable from the U.S. immediately. Now, who will vote against this act?
And in the case of Minnesota, it's very Somalia oriented. Think of it. These people come from a crooked country, disgusting country, one of the worst countries in the world. Acknowledged to be one of the worst countries in the world. Some people say it's the worst. They have no money, they have nothing. They come to our country, low IQs, and they rob us blind. Stupid people. And they rob us blind because we have crooked politicians.
On this vote, the yeas are 231, the nays are 186. The bill is passed. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Hey, y'all. Did you know that the Democrats just voted against deporting the undocumented who commit welfare fraud and steal our tax dollars? Yep, that's right. They think that's just absolutely fine. Now, I know that's probably hard for you guys to believe that the Democrats would care more about the undocumented than their own citizens. Say it ain't so. But yep, 186 Democrats voted against deporting the undocumented who commit welfare fraud and steal tax dollars. But that's okay, because the House of Representatives did pass the Deporting Fraudsters Act of 2026. If you commit welfare fraud, Medicaid fraud, or steal Social Security benefits fraudulently, and you are not an American citizen, you are subject to deportation. The bill passed with a vote of 231 to 186. All Republicans supported the bill. Y'all have a wonderful evening. God bless you.
Look at this bullshit here. 186 Democrats voted against deporting illegals who commit welfare fraud. It does tell you everything. You get caught committing welfare fraud to see if your ass will end up in jail or something. That's all I'm saying. You see who they're for. They're not for the American people. You dumbass libtards can't even see that yourselves. Look. You let one of y'all get caught doing that and see what happens to you. But it's pathetic. You can tell they're not for the country because, okay, why would they vote against people being deported that's committing crimes? Can anybody answer that? Because it's their voter base and they're trying to get them to be able to vote. Yeah, because they can't win. Because they're stupid and they have no policies. They don't have not one policy at all.
You know what I've noticed? Here's Democrats. We stand against oppression. We need to remove these oppressors who are oppressing these people. Don't you see us? We're standing against oppression. Don't you see us? We're moral. You see, we're doing something. We're standing against oppression.
27 Democrats in Colorado voted against child indecent exposure being a felony. Let me say that again. 27 Democrats in office in Colorado voted against, not for, the protection of children for indecent exposure being a felony. Their reason? To protect drag shows being read for story time. That's who Democrats are supporting. I don't want to hear any excuses for that. 27. I do not care for a single person's explanation as to why a child, 4, 5, 6 years old, needs to see a drag show in a library or anywhere in school or anywhere in life that is not educational, that is not beneficial, and it is not protecting children. It's disgusting, and it's giving child pedo vibes. Shame on you, Democrats.
A House passed a bill to deport undocumented immigrants that were convicted of sex crimes. Okay, that passed in the House. Every single Republican and 51 Democrats voted for it. Shockingly, 158 Democrats opposed it. Let me just say that again. 158 Democrats in the House of Representatives voted against a clean bill that to deport illegal aliens that shouldn't be here.
Guys, I have breaking and exclusive news. You won't believe what the Liberal Party just voted down today in the House of Commons. These are all the 4 bills that they voted against that were proposed by the Conservative Party. Let me know what you guys think. The first one's called Bill C-246. That called for consecutive sentences for sexual predators. So if someone commits multiple sexual offenses, they serve the sentences back to back. not concurrently, back to back, the Liberals said no. Too harsh. Now, Bill C-220, ending the sweetheart deals for non-citizens who commit serious crimes. This would stop judges from giving lighter sentences to rapists and child predators just because deportation might be a consequence. And as you can imagine, they voted that down as well. Absolutely ridiculous. But wait, there's more. Bill C-243, ending the cycle of annual parole hearings that force victims to relive their trauma year after year. The victims have been begging for this. The Liberals said no. Bill 242, the Jail Not Bail Act, which repeals the Liberal catch and release system for the repeat and violent offenders and puts public safety first in bail decisions. The Liberals, they said no. So let me get this straight. Consecutive sentences for sex offenders, no. Tougher sentences for foreign criminals, no. Protecting victims from reliving trauma at parole hearings every year, no. Keeping repeat violent offenders in jail, no. Every single one was voted down. These people are not serious about your safety. They never were. And get this, what they will vote in favor of tonight is going to be their hate act, Bill C-9. Are you serious? Words? Absolutely insane.
What do you think? Should fraud automatically lead to deportation? Yes or no? Drop your answer below. If you value conversations that go deeper than headlines, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on your notifications so you never miss future discussions. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay compassionate, and most importantly, stay active in the dialogue. If you missed what was said at the beginning, please watch that again. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.